play.
Check. Test.
Okay, off we go. Good luck for the game, yeah? If you're batting with the last spin, have your gloves on and helmet on the head, because you tend to carry it on the other hand. If that fellow hits straight on the stumps, you can't.
Oh yeah, sure.
Good luck.
Good evening and welcome to all our viewers from Singapore, in the region and around the world. It's grand final time of the Mariners EPS 2019. If you're anywhere nearby, do come down to the IA. It's a crowd building and it's going to be a wonderful final. Today's game is between SG Crimsons and SG Crescents for the championship of the Mariners EPS 2019 T20 competition. Let's have a look at the wicket on which the game will be played later on. Once again, it's a rock solid surface, and I think it's going to stay consistent throughout the 40 overs. There's a bit of moisture on it, so it will assist the fast bowlers early on with the new ball. But as the game progresses, it's going to wear out and be a beautiful batting surface. It'll take a bit of spin later on in the evening, but I wouldn't be surprised if the team winning the toss will elect to bat first. We'll join you shortly with the toss. That's the camera on the toss.
Okay. This is tails. This is head. You are the home team. You say heads. Heads is call.
is the call.
It's heads.
Manpreet, what's it going to be?
Today we're going to ball first.
Any particular reason?
No, actually, there's no reason. Actually, I just want to ball first today. Yeah, I want to chase today. Yeah.
What is the score you're going to look to restrict the Crimsons to?
I think below 140 should be a good total on the board. Yeah.
Any changes to your combination?
Yeah. Today we're having Amjad coming in, and Murtaja is sitting out today.
Good luck for the final.
Thank you very much, sir.
Well, you guys are batting first. What would you have done had you won the toss?
Probably would have bowled first, but it is what it is. You can't win all the tosses, so yeah, it's game on.
What do you think is a good score on this wicket, batting first?
I think from what we've seen the past couple of weeks, I think 150 plus. You give your bowlers a chance to defend that score.
Any changes to your combination?
Yes, today we don't have Vinod, but Sristant, I'm not too sure about his full name, but yeah, he's playing today.
Good luck for the final.
Thank you very much.
There you have it. The Crescents have won the toss and they've elected to field first. We will join you shortly with the live commentary. let's play.
te lleva a mover la cabeza y empezamos como es. Mi música no discrimina a nadie, así que vamos a romper. Toda mi gente se mueve, y al ritmo como nos quiere, hago música que entretiene. El mundo nos quiere, me quieren. Y toda mi gente se mueve, y al ritmo como nos quiere, hago música que entretiene. Mi música los tiene fuerte bailando. ¿Y dónde está mi gente? ¿Y dónde está mi gente? Ay, mi gente.
गिले यार बाइक अंदर
Good evening to all our viewers in Singapore, the region and around the world. It's grand final time of the Mariners EPS 2019. The Crescents winning the toss, electing to field. Good evening, Aidan Sherry.
Yeah, great match on Tuesday. Crescents coming off a brilliant one-run victory. Must have put the morale up quite a bit. Crimsons definitely have the stronger batting lineup, but the Crescents look to be in a much better frame of mind today.
Yes, I had a chat to their captain and the coach. They also seem to be wanting to put the Crimsons out of their comfort zone, winning the toss and electing to field, putting the Crimsons in. They are a side that prefers to chase. Looks like Amjad Mehboob starting proceedings from the Balestier Road end. We're about to get underway.
Oh, it's a great delivery to start up, just seaming away from the batsman there.
Amjad straight away on the mark. He didn't play the last couple of games, but he was putting in a lot of work in the nets, in particular working on his fitness. It's a strong bowling lineup today for the Crescents. The wicket looks like a good batting surface once again.
Yeah, it's flattened out a bit since Tuesday. Warded a few times, rolled a few times compared to the weekend matches and then the Tuesday match. Again, good delivery outside off. Batsman just kind of flashing at the ball.
There's a gully, catching fielder, deep third man and deep fine leg. The boundary riders, the heavily fortified offside field, backward point, cover, extra cover mid-off. And on the leg side you have a short mid-wicket and a mid-on. They're looking to expose that chink in Karabo Motlanka's armour outside the off stump. Karabo will be looking to play an innings of significance, skippering the Crimsons today.
Oh, again, really good delivery. Perfect line, perfect length. Batsman just taps it away for a single.
Yes, and this has been the MO of the Crimsons. They run really well between the wickets. This pair of Rohan Rangarajan, Karabo Motlanka. Rohan Ranga, what a tournament he's had. Both these sides winning 4 of their 6 matches played, qualifying for the finals.
Yeah, he'll be looking to finish off this tournament with a really big score.
He's already about 100 runs better than the next in line, Manpreet Singh.
Oh,
Looks pretty straight. Oh my God.
That was close. Looks like it might have been seaming down leg, cut in a long, long way.
Let's have a look at the replay.
Ooh, that was close, that.
I tell you what, he looked in front of the stumps.
That would have been a big, big wicket there.
Amjad, the experienced campaigner, straight away nailing Rohan Ranga in front of the stumps. The umpire adjudicating not out, but I tell you what, that looked pretty adjacent.
It's a big wide down leg, trying to bowl the magic ball again, trying to get one to seam back in, get a LBW, but just strays down leg and it's another wide.
Excellent bit of wicket keeping by Manpreet Singh, certainly saving 4 runs for his team. It's very agile and acrobatic wicket keeper, very fit individual.
It's in the air and he's out. That's a brilliant delivery from Amjad. Bit slower, sticks in the surface a bit. Rohan looks to flick the ball down the leg side and he's gone for his first duck of the series.
And here we go, the law of averages. And more than that, brilliant bowling. The experienced campaigner Amjad Mehboob bowling the leg cutter, holding back on pace. Excellent line and length. Strikes, removing the highest scorer of the tournament, the man in form, Rohan Rangarajan, going back for a duck. This will have an impact on the Crimsons. This is an excellent start by the Crescents. Looks like Naveen Param walking into the center. Another elegant right-handed batsman. Young man's played a few key roles and played a few good innings. Well, his team will need for him to stand up today in the grand final. The Crescents are pumped up. They will carry on the confidence from the defense 2 nights ago.
Good up, Jay. Good up, Jay.
Navin Param, the new batsman in. He's got to finish this over off well, keep the momentum going. He's done it to dot ball. It's a brilliant over, first over. It's 1 for 2 after the first over.
Crescents will be very pleased with that start. It's a beautiful crowd building up here for the grand final. The music's playing. We got DJ Mahesh in the house. These beautiful pictures coming to you live by Sportigo. Damichan Muleva and his team doing an excellent job. Big thanks to all our sponsors, Mariners Cricket Club, KTP Exports Private Limited, Synergy Sports and Physiotherapy, The Landmark, and Charm Green International. Looks like Kartik Subramaniam from the Serangoon Road end.
Yeah, ball's really handy, medium pace, looking to just keep the run rate down, bowl as many dot balls, keep up the pressure. That's a good first ball to start off, sticks in the pitch a little bit.
Yes, Kartik Subramaniam, wily cricketer, good fighter, and he's up for any challenge his team throws his way. Navin Param, Carabo Matlanka, out there for the Crimsons. They look relaxed. Carabo Matlanka, Botswana international, Botswana captain, very experienced cricketer. He'll be looking to guide this Crimson's innings to a score of substance.
Oh, it's another beautiful delivery. It's just great bowling there from Karthik.
It's a very good seam position and very good length on this wicket to be bowling, hitting the deck and jagging away.
Yeah, with the stickiness in the wicket, you can see there's spots in the wicket that really seem to stick a bit. It's a lot harder to drive off a good length. That's where they need to be bowling for the rest of the innings.
Yes, there will be certainly a little bit of movement under lights with the new ball. These conditions, Kartik Subramaniam extracting those advantages.
Oh, he goes for the big flashing drive there, but just completely misses it.
Carabo Matlanka needs to be cautious, not having the greatest of tournaments, apart from the first innings he played. Charles Wise were there. Mid-off, the Ugandan international. He'll be looking for his turn to bowl. Very wily left-arm medium pacer. Very accurate bowler.
Oh, it's straight up in the air. And it's called by the keeper. That's a really good catch.
And that's the end of Carabo Matlanka. It's very good bowling.
Good call in the end from the keeper, making sure not to mix it up. About 4 fielders around the ball. If one of them collided, that could have been a drop.
This is not the ideal start for the Crimsons. And this is exactly what the Crescents had planned when they won the toss and inserted the Crimsons to bat first. They are a team that likes to settle into the match by bowling first and chasing down any target. And now both the skipper and the man in form, Rohan Ranga, both back in the pavilion. Very good catch there by Manpreet Singh.
Yeah, the two brothers out there now, Naveen and Pashim. Would have battled a lot together in the past.
Yes. They will have to forge a partnership here. The Crimsons are to post anything near competitive. There's great energy in the Crescents camp. You can see the body language. You can see they're relaxed. They're on top here. Both these opening bowlers, Amjad Mehboob and Kartik Subramaniam, done a wonderful job for their team and captain. Well, Prasheen and Naveen, Param brothers, the way they approach this innings will determine the outcome of this game, I feel. But both are ideally suited for such conditions. They are players that look to collect the singles, keep the scoreboard ticking. They play largely risk-free cricket.
Oh, it's another really good delivery. Another dot ball. Haven't scored any runs off the over so far. Really good bowling there.
It's the Crimsons feeling the pressure of the grand final. The Crescents seem to be enjoying the moment. Roger Makaza there, the Ugandan captain. He'll be looking to rotate his arm over later, but more importantly, his job will be with the willow, opening the batting.
Yeah, they look like they're playing with a lot more confidence than on Tuesday night. Oh, it's a really beautiful delivery. It just catches the outside edge and goes for 4. And beats fine leg.
As Naveen Param getting well outside his off stump, the ball kissing the face of the bat. Luckily for him, going down in the vacant third man region for 4. The Crimsons wouldn't mind it. At the end of 2 overs, Crimson 6 runs for 2 wickets. Amjad Mehboob continuing from the Balestier Road end.
Plays a bit across the line there. Not very well played in the end, but they scamper through for a leg by.
Yes, Prasheen Param rotating the strike. This is a very risky approach to play Amjad. Walking across your stumps. He has the ability to jack the ball back. And what he does so well is vary the pace with which he gets the delivery to you. He can pitch the ball in the same spot, but the 2 different balls will come at you at 2 different paces and will beat your rhythm. Most of the time he traps you in front. It's a clever bowler, Amjad.
Nicely flicked off his pads there, looking for 2. Feels a bit slower in the deep and they take 2. It's good running between the wickets.
Shahrukh Dar patrolling the long leg region. It's a nice crowd building here for the finals. A lot of the under-17s and the under-19s in as well. The cold brews starting to flow. I had an ice cream in the afternoon, Aiden. It was a hot day. I saw you guys training.
Yeah, it was a pretty hot day today. Oh, that's a good delivery. It's a risky shot, but it pays off. They're looking for 3 here. They just settled for 2. It's actually in the end really well played off his pads, moving across the off stump, knowing the bowler's going to try to pitch it there.
The Crescents wouldn't mind these singles. The Crimsons as well, they would want to slowly get a partnership going. Deep square leg now being sent back. The fine leg being brought into the circle. Amjad trying to sell the fact that he's going to be bowling a short ball. Let's see whether he does that.
It's punched really well, but it's good soccer skills by the fielder, and it's stopped from going for a boundary, and it's just 2.
There's Surendra Chandramohan there. Very athletic fielder. A great pair of hands. Go. I have a very special guest here with me this evening in the Combox, Mr. Avijit Datta, the president of the Mariners Cricket Club, the title sponsors of the Mariners EPS. Good evening and welcome to the Combox.
Good evening. Thank you very much for being here. Very special evening today. Being a title sponsor, we feel very honored, and we give the thanks to Singapore Cricket Association to give us this opportunity.
Now, Mr. Datta, you're a very busy man, but I've seen you come down and I saw you watching the EPS and really enjoying. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
See, everybody in Singapore are a busy man, but in spite of that, everybody have some person. Somebody have for soccer, somebody for cricket. So end of the day, after doing the job also, for satisfaction or mental satisfaction, they always try to find out some place. So this is a fantastic place to be here, and a nice weather, lovely ambience and good cricket. What else we want?
Well said. Karthik Subramaniam continues from the Serangoon Road end. This partnership slowly taking on. The Indian Association under lights, it's a great atmosphere. You've been a great supporter of Singapore cricket. So what are your plans to be involved with cricket and in the future for Singapore?
Actually, motto is one, to promote the game of cricket in this island. It can be in various ways, either participating, either supporting. So whatever way, see, there require resources for each and everything. So that resources is not very easily available. So we are ready to support the parent body, who is the Singapore Cricket Association. Whatever way and whatever we are capable to do, we will support them. And I can see actually, since 14-15 years I am in Singapore, and I can see the way the game of cricket has become so popular here. And entire credit for that thing goes to Singapore Cricket Association. Being such a small country, and we can see from 2007 and to the 2019, the number of league team, and to organize so many games, and hardly you know that how many cricket field here we have. So commendable job, and we will be always with Singapore Cricket Association. Whenever, wherever the way they want, we will support them.
There you have heard it from the president of the Mariners Cricket Club himself. So I know you're a very busy man. I'd like to thank you for giving us the time and for coming down to the Combox and speaking with us.
Thank you very much, and thank you Sal Sahab and SCA to give this opportunity.
Karthik Subramaniam continuing in a very disciplined line and length.
Come on, boys!
Karthik Subramaniam continuing. Or this could be a run out here. Just back in time. I have a very interesting guest now here with me in the commentary box. Ms. Pani Kormasuri, a researcher, a scientist, and a developer, something related to sports. Good evening and welcome to the Combox.
Thank you for having me here today. It's a wonderful evening and really good performance out there. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about this research topic of yours and this development that you have done that's going to help our sport and the wider sporting community as well.
Okay. So I'm basically working on a condition called athlete's foot, which is a fungal infection which affects many people of the sports community, but not just people from the sports community, but also people in the wider population, anybody who wears closed-toed shoes for a long time. So it's something that affects the masses. And my friend and I are coming up with a solution which is going to be a very cheaper alternative to combating it, to preventing it and combating it, and a long-term solution.
Crimson 16 for the loss of 2 wickets at the end of 4 overs. And the Crescent skipper, Manpreet Singh, really going for the kill here, employing the services of Amjad Mubab. 3 overs on a trot. He's been bowling brilliantly thus far, only conceding 9 runs and picking up the crucial wicket of Rohan Ranga of the 2 overs. Yes, Pani. So tell us how this particular product works and what the benefits are.
So it's primarily going to prevent sweaty, stinky, smelly feet. So that's the big bonus for everybody, not just the athletic community, but the entire population. And it's also going to prevent fungal and bacterial growth within the shoe and on the feet. And that's through a magic membrane that I can't speak much about right now. Yeah.
So top secret stuff. Once again guided down to third man, Charles Weisfer doing the patrolling at deep third man. Prasheen Param, Naveen Param rotating the strike, making sure the scoreboard keeps ticking along. I think both these players are ideally suited to handle this situation. 2 good cricketing heads on the shoulders. Calm and collected players. They also have the capability to score all around the dial. They need to bat deeper into the Crimson's innings. Amjad, on the other hand, would looking to be picking up another wicket here. Short ball turned away to deep square leg. Apishli. So at what stage in the development of this solution are you at the moment?
So currently it's an idea, and we are actively seeking customer support and seeking out grants to actually bring this thing into reality. So that's the phase.
Amjad continues. It's a wide down the leg side. The Crescents need to make sure that they keep their lines and lengths discipline, not hand over the advantage that they have earned. Back to the Crimsons. So Pani, what has been your experience of this Mariners EPS cricket under lights? You seem to be having fun.
Yes, it's a beautiful evening and they're playing wonderfully, and also the crowd here is very delighted and is rooting for the teams, which is really very energetic. So it's a beautiful evening out there.
Indeed, the music's playing, the crowd's building. The grand final of the Mariners EPS certainly underway. The Crescents winning the toss, inviting the Crimsons to have first lease of this wicket. That's a very good delivery. So tell us a little bit. You're from India. It's a cricket crazy nation, and I think you've been living here now in Singapore.
Yes.
And have you been following any of the cricket teams or the leagues, or how does this EPS really get your interest going into cricket?
It's actually a few of my friends play for the national women's team, so that's how I got associated with the Singapore Cricket Association. And it's really brilliant to see that there are people from across the globe in the team and they are playing together. So it's a good sport which unites people, so that's the best part.
Wide signaled. Amjad rather displeased with that decision, but he'll have to continue. Members of the Singapore Cricket Association, President Mahmud Ghaznavi, members of the Exco, watching the grand finals. So which team are you supporting, Pani?
Crimsons.
Wow. 21 for 2 at the moment, but still early days. And in cricket, anything can happen. This is very good running between the wickets. Anish and Naveen, the brothers, showing good understanding. At the end of 5 overs, Crimsons are 22 for the loss of 2 wickets. So what do you think the Crimsons are going to get as a total?
Around 160, I guess.
Yes, I think the Crimsons will be looking for a total of around 160 from where they are placed at present. James Cox introduced into the attack from the Serangoon Road end. He bowled beautifully on Tuesday evening in the Crescents defense of a rather small total of 100 runs. Took a hat-trick and won the match for his team.
Wow.
Taking the Stars' last 5 wickets for 2 runs.
That's impressive.
The man from Nottinghamshire, England, very popular among his teammates. Is a character. He made sure that he's had his Subway and 1 litre of cricket before the game started. Mic test. We're back live. Ananta Krishna continuing from the Balestier Road end. That's a very good delivery. It's time to welcome my friend, Mr. Mohan Subramaniam, back in the comm box. Mo, welcome back.
Thank you, Jamal. Good fun to be back. How the game changes. All of a sudden, the Crimson's down 2 wickets, and the dismissal of that one man, Rohan Rangarajan, would have made such a difference to the morale of the Crescents. And all of a sudden, the Crimsons have to battle it out. A thin outside edge that raced away to the fine third-man boundary for 4.
Yes, and this is where I thought the Crescents missed a trick, not having a slip in there, especially when you're on top. And another wicket here would make it very difficult for the Crimsons. Yes, Rohan Ranga coming into this was on tremendous form, easily 100 runs ahead of his nearest rival on the top scorers list. But today was out for a duck. He survived a very close LBW call. It's a beautiful shot. It's a great bit of fielding there. James Cox, energized today. Certainly saving a couple for his team. Not the best bit of running. I think they were doing a bit of ball watching there. Should have been 3, only collected 2.
But some high quality cricket there. Lovely back cut by the batsman, and what a cricketer James Cox is, bowling rapidly and then giving his heart out on the field as a fielder. Great cricketer to have on your side. Crimson's 34 for 2 of 6.4.
And Ananta Krishna doing a very good job here. This is where he plays all his cricket, the Indian Association ground. And he's bowled him. He's through the defenses of Prasheen Param there. Beat him in flight. A little bit of drift into the pads. And hits the top of off. Wonderful delivery. Crimsons are in real trouble here.
Just tossed it up, the batsman ever so slightly across the line, I thought. Probably played all over that one. The castle is disturbed and the Crescents are all over the Crimsons now, 34 for 3.
Outwalks Chetan Suryavanshi. Now here's the real danger cog. Experienced batsman, he too knows this wicket like the back of his hand and is very capable of accelerating. But I think the innings he plays today will determine the outcome for the Crimsons. But as long as Chetan Suryavanshi is in the middle, the Crimsons will always consider themselves in the game.
And Jamal, no matter what level of cricket you're playing, no matter how much cricket you've played, when there is pressure like this, it's 34 for 3, Chetan would first desperately want to get off the mark and then look to survive for the next few overs to take his team to safety. But right now, the pressure is hugely on Chetan.
Yes, and this is a good bit of captaincy, getting the slip in there. But I think here also you need to be really careful, having decided to have a slip, to have the correct fielders in the correct positions.
Oh, that was close. Playing and missing, beautifully bowled. End of over number 7, Crimsons 34 for 3.
Yes, Ananta Krishna bowling at the correct pace on this deck. He's been bowling really well throughout the tournament. He's the leading wicket taker in 6 games. Has something like 15 wickets.
And it's always a pleasure to see a bowler actually spin the ball and turn it. Ananta Krishnan actually giving it a rip and getting it to leave the batsman at pace. Chetan had no clue whatsoever.
Charles Vaiswa, the Ugandan national left-arm medium pacer, comes into the attack. Manpreet Singh not allowing the batsman to settle in, bringing the changes. Quick single scampered through there. Aritra Dutta doing the tidying up.
Yes, Chetan's the new man in now, and I'd like to see the field a little bit more attacking for him. If these guys can press on and get 1 or 2 wickets more, I think the Crimsons will be really up against it. The captain is busy from behind the stumps, marshalling his troops, setting his field. Here comes Charles Vaiswa, left arm over. Well left by Chetan. Bowler now testing the batsman a little bit.
He has wily character, experienced cricketer Charles Vaiswa. He's not going to give an inch. Straight away hitting his mark. Good line and length, hitting the seam. And he moves it from the blind spot. And as a right-handed batsman, Chetan has made the adjustment, standing outside his leg stump now.
Oh, he's knocked him over. He's knocked him over.
The Crimsons are falling in a heap. Having won the toss, the Crescents inserting the Crimsons. They are a side that has loved to chase. And the plan was to make them uncomfortable, and it seems to be working.
And the pressure getting to Chetan there, playing away from his body, probably dragged that in a little bit off the inside edge, cannoning onto the stumps. It's 35 for 4, and the Crescents would at the moment be getting a sense they can bundle this team out for less than 100, and that would mean half the battle won.
Yes, this looks like Kenneth Weisfer walking into the middle. And we haven't seen any boundaries or any big overs. The Crescents bowlers have been really disciplined, giving nothing away. They seem to be executing their plans really well. And they really have come to the party on the back of that wonderful win on Tuesday. All that confidence flowing through. Naveen Param having a word to Kenneth Weisfer. This is where you need to stand up. It's a long way still remaining in this match.
And the middle order now has to come to the table and prove that this team is not just about one or two players up the order. And this is a great opportunity for these guys to bat right up to the 20th over and do something with the remaining overs and get them past at least 120. But Charles Weiswa, with his tail up, beautifully bowled and well played.
Yes, he would be knowing all about his fellow countrymen's game, Kenneth Weiswa. And what a wonderful platform this Mariners EPS has been for the regional players, the internationals, the players from Singapore, and also the young under-19s and under-17s.
Very similar to the ball that got Chetan out, short of a length, climbing. Chetan dragged it on. This time the batsman lucky to get the bottom edge and going towards the wicketkeeper. We had Charles Weiswa in the com box a few days ago. Very knowledgeable, very, very humorous character. Good to see him do well out there. Oh, well bowled again, and Kenneth Weiswa has to clamp down on that quickly.
Yes, I had a chat to Charles this afternoon before the game started, and he was really pumped up for this final. It's good to see the com box represented in the middle. We wish him all the well.
In fact, I would urge viewers and listeners to go back to the conversation which Charles was having with Chamal that day. He had some really, really intelligent questions to ask about Singapore, India, Sri Lanka. Very knowledgeable, not just about cricket, but about world affairs. Very impressive young man.
And he also asked me about the Nelson. Really testing my cricket archives there. Aritra Dutta at short extra cover there. Naveen Param picking up a quick single. Moy, how do you think the Crimsons are going to go about building a total of any substance here on?
Yeah, I think all of a sudden a T20 game looks like a test match because these guys are 4 wickets down and they really can't afford to lose even one single wicket at this stage because then the score will be paltry. They'll have no chance against the Crescents. Only way is to think survival. The mindset right now is to be survival. Get as many ones and twos as possible, not to go for glory unless the ball is really bad. But hang in there as long as possible, take the innings deep. And then if there are wickets in hand by the 16th or 17th over, then go all out and try and build a respectable score.
Very good bowling by Ananta Krishna. Yes, and the way these two batsmen play, they are not big hitters of the ball. So it's not like they can afford too many dot balls. They need to look to rotate the strike.
And what I like about this field right now, Chamal, is the way it's set. He's got 2 guys on the offside and onside, completely blocking the single. The bowler is pitching it up, so the batsman has nowhere really to play except in front of the wicket. And he's got fielders covering the boundary as well. So I really like the short mid on, short mid off, blocking of the single and the bowler being alive to the situation by keeping it well up. So batsmen have no chance of either square cutting or sweeping or anything of that sort. So great bowling, great field setting.
Yes, and it's also very annoying for the batsman to have those two fielders in the eye line, especially when the bowler is spinning the ball a lot. Plugged away too long on. Surendran Chandramohan there doing the fielding. And after this, they've got Manoj Yadav, Anshul Singhania, Pramesh Singhavi, Suresh Appusamy and Tafara Chingwara. I think these two should look to bat deep into this innings and not leave more than 4-5 overs at the max to the rest of the batsmen.
And what a good last over by Anantha Krishnan, because very important he kept it tight, because as a leg spinner, if you bowl anything loose, they always have the leg spinners have a tendency to bowl the odd loose balls. And if you let them get away now with 2 or 3 boundaries, the pressure is off. But he did a great job of keeping the pressure on and not letting the batsman get away with any stroke play at all.
No, just one.
Not the best of returns. Amjad Mehboob sending it on the bounce. He might have other ideas, softening up the ball using the square. He's an experienced campaigner. Because I know he has certainly got a better hand than that. Charles Weiswa, the middle of a very good spell. Naveen Param moving across his stumps to create an angle to pick up a single there. Manpreet Singh adjusting Shahrukh Dar, looking to cut off that single. He's been marshalling his troops really well throughout the tournament, and it really peaked last Tuesday, the defense of that 100 runs. This is very good bowling. Very little room for error by the batsman. And more, the T20 game and cricket in general has evolved so much. Nowadays, batsmen are required to be able to even score off good deliveries, to look at least to rotate a single. You can't allow these dots to build.
That's pressure again for you. I don't think the ball was there to be hit. I thought that took a little bit of an inside edge and trickled away down to square leg. Absolutely right. I think batsmen have to manufacture shots, even of the good balls. The good ball of yesteryear, which was defined as the good length ball, is probably the worst ball to bowl in 2020 cricket when batsmen are looking to hit you over the top. So game is turned on its head completely. Oh, beautifully bowled, but that's a no ball.
Could this be the first pressure release? A free hit will be conceded.
And I can almost hear the batsman heave a sigh of relief because it's been so tough to get the ball off the square. Finally, the batsman can wind up and take a swipe at it. Let's see if he connects, and let's see what Weiswa has up his sleeve. Important they don't concede a boundary now to keep that stranglehold on.
From the Crimson's point of view, it's good to have Naveen Param on strike. Charles Weiswa employs the abort very effectively. He's done that a couple of times on a previous occasion. And that is to completely upset the batsman's rhythm. Using all the tricks this occasion up his short sleeve.
What was that? Once again, has he overstepped? Has to be, because I thought he employed the slow one, lost control over it a little bit.
Well,
hard to make out from here, I guess.
Very difficult to make out from here. Sarika Prasad adjudicating, very senior umpire. Has experience in many ICC tournaments. He's made the call that it is a no ball. It's a very good delivery. Saw Naveen Param looking to play the ball to deep square leg Targeting a bit short.
So Naveen Param is 17 of 24, Kenneth Weisberg is 3 of 11. Gives you an indication of how difficult it is for the batsman right now out there in the middle. And Charles Weisberg in the middle of his second over, bowled beautifully, but that'll fly away down to third man for a single. At the end of the 10th, it's 43 for 4.
Yes, that does not make for very pleasant reading if you're a Crimsons fan. Karabo Motlanka out for 1. Rohan Ranga out for a duck. He survived a very close LBW appeal by Amjad the previous delivery, but Amjad made quick work of him, deceiving him off the deck, extracting an easy catch to short cover. Ananta Krishna continues.
Tossing it up nicely, he can afford to do that now.
Absolutely, and the batsman cannot afford to take any risk. In particular, Naveen Param cannot afford to take a risk and get out, so that would have hampered his ability to play those with a free mind. Again, a quick single. And the other thing, the Crimsons are also not having the services of Vinod Bhaskaran today, one of their key wicket takers and restrictors at the same time. So that'll certainly provide an advantage to the Crescents.
And the minute Kenneth Weisberg comes on to strike, straight away the field's pulled in, the short mid-on, short mid-off, and the slip, who's the lone man in a catching position. So the pressure is being turned on Kenneth Weisberg now. Will he look to break out of this? Oh, well bowled. The turn, kicked, classic leg break by Ananta Krishna.
And in these sort of situations, if you're the bowler, you wouldn't even mind conceding any single to Naveen Param early on in the over and just bowling dots to Kenneth Weisberg. Do it all day long.
I keep wondering whether he can bowl the other one, the googly. He's turning the leg breaks a long way.
Kenneth Weisberg decided he wasn't making much connection batting the regular way. Why not try it the other way? The odds still seem to have not improved.
Some great leg break bowling on display at the Indian Association. Tossing it up, great line, great length, lot of turn.
Yes, none of these batsmen seem to be employing the sweep shot, the conventional sweep shot.
And when the ball is turned up, Jamal, none of them are willing to use their feet as well to come to the pitch of that ball and stroke it away for runs. So he finishes yet another tight over. He's bowled 3 overs for 6 runs in this game.
11 overs. The Crimsons 44 for the loss of 4. And 14 out of that have been extras. The advantage in these first 11 overs, certainly with the Crescents. They would want to continue. Yes, the googly and the flipper would certainly be areas in Ananta Krishna's game he'd want to work on, because especially when he has the ability to turn a big leg break, that googly can come in really handy, especially maybe even against batsmen like what we have on display here. You can sell them the leg break, and then set you up, pin you in front.
Well, runs coming in a trickle right now. 1s and 2s every over. Haven't seen a boundary in a long, long time. It's one, the score on the board. It's a measly 45 for 4. The other thing is the kind of line and length that the Crescents bowlers are bowling, they seem to have found a new gear in this game. Each and every bowler on view has been absolutely spot on all evening.
Yes, it seems like the last boundary came before the first dinosaur convention. And as we speak,
Great hit.
that ball deposited over the ropes. Kenneth Weiswa climbing into that,
What a shot.
just helping it
Great
on
shot.
its way. Strong wrists. Puts his fellow countrymen deep into the IA darkness. It's a very welcome 6 for the Crimsons. Good running between the wickets. Navin Param calling him through. Yes, Kenneth Weiswa seemed to prefer facing the quicker men much more than the spinners.
And like you said earlier, he's probably used to facing him in the nets over long periods of time. Oh, that's well bowled. Had the batsman jamming down quickly. That could have been close had that hit direct. But Param is back into his crease. Yeah, good pickup. Good shy at the stumps, but I thought he had just made it back.
Slight confusion, but no harm done. Both batsmen safely back in the crease. It's a very good delivery.
He's probably tailing it back a little bit as the batsman coming down sharply every now and then to keep it away from the stumps. But we had Kenneth Weiswa playing that pull shot, beautiful, just a little swivel and over the top of square leg for 6. They're from Uganda, but that shot had a touch of the Caribbean in it.
Navin Param always looking for the single. At the end of 12 overs, Crimson's 52 for the loss of 4 wickets. 48 balls remaining. They get run a ball. That's going to take them to 100. And with 8 overs remaining, if they get at least 5 to 6 boundaries, that's another 24. So they should be looking, if these two continue, to get in the region of 120 plus at the very least.
And I think we're in for a really fascinating contest now because Kenneth Weiswa, like Jamal was saying earlier, far more comfortable against the quicks than against Ananta Krishnanos, tossing it up. The minute he sees Kenneth Weiswa, Kenneth doesn't like the two fielders breathing down his neck. We could see something interesting happen now.
I wouldn't even mind another slip or a gully. Because Ananta's balls, especially the last two in the previous over, really gripped and turned.
Really tossing it up. And I think if Kenneth tries to aim anything across the line against the spin, we could see the ball flying off the edge, either on the offside or up over the leg side. Important he keeps his head.
This is what happens when you get stiff. Even the no balls you can't put away, but on that occasion, drills it.
Beautiful shot.
Kenneth Weiswa picks the gap between long on and mid wicket to the deep mid wicket boundary against the spin. Beautiful shot.
And there were two fielders on the boundary that had no chance whatsoever.
Strongly built batsman with strong wrists. That was just a flick of the wrist and off she went.
That's the one I was talking about. Taking that swing, the outside edge, straight to first slip.
That was a very sharp catch, beautifully taken by Amjad Mehboob. Surprised him a little. Head high, swinging. Beautifully bowled, slowed it down. Ananta Krishna intelligently bowled it.
And look, Jamal, all credit to Ananthakrishnan for not losing heart after being hit for a boundary. He could well have flattened his trajectory and bowled defensively, but still chose to attack, tossing it up, inviting the drive with that first slip in play. The outside edge came, sure enough, and that's the end of a short but entertaining innings. Crimsons 5 down for 56 now.
That brings young Anshul Singhania to the centre. He's a very chirpy young lad when he's behind the stumps. Well, he has a job on his hands. 5 matches, 4 runs. 4 being his previous best. Nothing to write back home there. But today, he has the opportunity to play 7 overs after this. That's a long time in a T20 game. I'm sure the Crimsons will be depending on him to do a job.
What a bowling display by the Crescents, and in particular by Ananthakrishnan. 3.4 overs, 2 for 10, and this guy can bat as well. I saw him hit some long shots the other day at the IA grounds, and he's turning it on with the ball now, doing a great job, picking up crucial wickets, has the ability to turn the ball a long way, real asset to the side.
Manpreet Singh straight away attacking the new batsman. There's a slip, silly mid off and a short cover. It's looking like a test match at the Adelaide Oval.
A lot of singles to be had on the onside. Everybody is on the boundary. The offside is packed. There you go, the single to long on. The batsman must be relieved to get to the other side and get off the mark.
Yes, the batsmen, to their disadvantage, have refused to use the feet when the ball has been flighted. Well left. It's the way Naveen Param leaves the ball. At the end of 13 overs, Crimsons 57 for the loss of 5 wickets. And that has been a wonderful spell by Ananthakrishna. It's 4 overs, 15 dot balls, just conceding a mere 11 runs and picking up 2 crucial wickets. He'll be very pleased with that performance in the grand final.
Yeah, absolutely right. I think for all his great figures, the ability to turn, he was a little bit predictable because he was turning it, flighting it and turning it off a length, keeping it outside the off stump. So if any batsman had shown the willingness to come down the track and take him on the full, that's what makes bowlers think differently and try and do something different. That's when the batsman creates his own shots and makes the bowler bowl to where he wants them to bowl. But this time Ananthakrishnan has come out trumps. He was all over the batsman, and he's got figures to show for his efforts.
And also, the batsmen played a little bit of a tortoise game. They went inside their shell, refused to attack, just allowed the bowlers to settle into a good line and length, and then fell prey. James Cox continuing from the Serangoon Road end. Beats the outside edge for pace. Anshul Singhania trying to guide it to third man. Didn't know much about that one.
And look, something tells me that the Crimsons are in some serious danger here. It's 57 for 5, a couple of wickets more, and they could fold up for well under 100. So they need somebody to really stay there and get some boundaries.
It's a very good delivery once again. James Cox really bowling well. They seem to have a guy on no ball duty here. After every delivery, looks like Ghulam Mortaza races down to the bowling end and checks the spike marks and then covers them up. This is the first time I've seen this in all my years of cricket, but why not?
you have to find something to keep yourself occupied when the opposition is 57 for 5.
Oh, well bowled, and that looked pretty plumb, and up goes the finger.
Yes, that was a very rash shot, bit of a brain fade. Anshul Singhania going right across the line. That would have hit all 3 stumps.
When you're this new to the crease, you can't go across the line to a bowler of James Cox's pace. No chance whatsoever of connecting. And you can see Cox running in. Seems to be of the wrong foot. It's got an awkward action, never easy. The batsman had no chance of any connection there. He should have gone in the V. Have had a better chance of getting bat to ball. And Cox strikes for his first wicket.
We had an old Australian umpire when I used to play there in New South Wales. He used to say, that one young man is hit man dead. Brings Manoj Kumar Yadav, strongly built right-handed batsman. He can hit the ball a long way, but I think he'll need to get this innings going. There seemed to be no momentum in this Crimson's innings. Naveen Param and Manoj Yadav will need to get the wheels in motion here before they can unleash maybe in the last 2 overs.
And James Cox, I'm sure, is smelling blood now. I'm sure he wants to knock a few over. I can sense that James Cox is running it a little bit harder now. There he goes. That was quick. And the batsman gets bat to ball and gets off the mark.
Is well managed by Manoj there. He's got arms like pistons. Manoj Kumar Yadav can hit the ball a long way. He'll need to bat together with Naveen Param, who's really holding this Crimson's innings like glue at the moment. James Cox now really turning the heat on.
Look at that carry, Chamal. Look where the keeper collected it. That was well pitched up. And the keeper had to collect it near his shoulder.
And you can hear the ball thudding into the gloves. That's good pace.
Oh. It moved away after pitching, and the batsman probably would have hoped even for an outside edge to take it down to the boundary. That's how desperate the Crimsons are to get some runs. Struggling now, 58 for 6 of 14.
It's 58 for the loss of 6. Not having the platform which they can use as a launch pad. They will ideally have to spend at least another 2 overs building this innings from where they can think of attacking the Crescents. Crescents, to their credit, have been regularly picking up wickets and throwing spanners in the progress of the Crimsons.
And I think, Chamal, for the Crimsons, they got to look at Karthik coming in as a bit of a weak link and take a chance against him, because the others like Cox and Ananthakrishnan have been bowling immaculately. There's no chance of getting away with strokes against them. So the Crimsons probably could look at this little spell from Karthik. He'll maybe go in for 2 or 3 overs as the chance to really break free and get a few runs quickly. To me, this is really the critical over for the Crimsons to get some runs on board.
It's good to see Manpreet straight away up to the stumps. And the other day, Karthik Subramaniam bowled really well. He's developed this little leg cutter, which he sort of rides up in his tricycle and releases, beats the batsman for pace and everything else. So Manoj Kumar Yadav would love pace on the ball right now, but he's getting none. And with Manpreet Singh up to the stumps, even a stumping is on the cards.
Slashed it, flayed it to extra cover for 4.
That was brutally treated. When he hits it, it stays hit.
And I think these guys are sensing that this is their only chance to get some quick boundaries and notch up a decent score.
Very well bowled there once again. Yes, as a cricketer, that's when you need to be really sharp and switched on to pick these little occasions where you can try and grab the momentum back, especially when you're down on the mat, about to be choked out. You need to find those gaps, little advantages, and then capitalize on them. They've got a boundary in this over, so it's important that he gets the singles and make it into a big over and not concede too many dot balls.
Three fielders on the boundary on the leg side, long on, deep mid wicket and a square leg. Singles for the taking on the onside. You just get bat to ball and you can get to the other side. That's exactly what Yadav did on the previous occasion. Param is the batsman with his eye in. He should be the one going for it now. Oh, that was on the leg stump. And he taps it for one. He probably could have got a wide for it.
Seeing that it was a leg cutter, he would have had two thoughts about letting it go and getting bowled around the legs. But with just the short fine leg fielder to beat, I thought he could have either gone at it really hard or let it go. They'll take every single run they can get.
And probably is the biggest over for the Crimsons already, with some 8 runs off it, 2 balls to go. I thought he missed out on that shot outside the off stump. Third man was up.
Yes, he's trying to just belt the cover off the ball. He's got a boundary off the over already. Just look to hit your markers. And try not to premeditate too much. This is not ideal. Karthik Subramanian will be disappointed. As a fighter, he doesn't like giving anything away. Conceding a wide. Only 3 4s and a 6 thus far in this innings. With 5 overs remaining after this ball, Crimsons would be looking to remedy that.
Good delivery to end by Karthik. It's 15 overs gone, 66 for 6, the Crimsons.
It's a wonderful atmosphere here at the Indian Association Cricket Ground. Music's playing. DJ Mahesh behind the deck. Foods and drinks flowing. Cold brews on. Lights are on. The grand final's on. If you're anywhere nearby, do come down. The Crescents would feel they're on top at the moment. Cricket's a funny game, as we saw on Tuesday. But the Crimsons, they'll be looking to boost this to a competitive total with the 5 overs remaining, 30 balls.
And it's going to be James Cox, right arm medium from the far end. Really enjoyed watching James Cox bowl. Oh, well bowled again, nicely played. He'll probably get only 1 for it. A nice straight bat down the ground, but they need a little more than that at this stage, the Crimsons.
Bowling 2 overs, 1 delivery, conceding only 7 runs, picking up the crucial wicket at that particular stage. Yes, so after this he'll have another over remaining.
The Crimsons were winning matches with no more than 2 or 3 wickets down when Rohan Rangaraj was firing. But take away Rohan Rangaraj and you sense that these guys don't have the depth that they would like to have in their batting.
And this is something that we discussed the other day. Come the grand final time or the key match times, can the untested batsman stand up? Well, you're finding the answer today. And you can see the remaining bowlers with the overs. After this 4 overs to be bowled, Amjad's got 1.
That was quick. The batsman a little late on the pull, but still managed to get some bat onto it. And they can only get a single for all that effort. James Cox is still hurrying the batsman.
Deputy President of Singapore Cricket Association there. It's a brilliant delivery, took the pace off. James Cox bowling extremely intelligently. Well, Manoj Kumar Yadav, Sadkan Chanchua there, the CEO of Singapore Cricket Association. Yes, the bowling options available for Manpreet Singh after this. Amjad's got an over, Kartik Subramaniam's got an over, Charles Weisver's got an over, and James Cox got another one. That's not going to be easy for the batsman to put away. Well, they managed a single. Not the most convincing, but the Crimsons wouldn't mind that at all. As long as the scoreboard keeps ticking, they'll have to find a way to get a few balls to the boundary.
It's been a real struggle for the Crimsons. Hardly ever saw an authentic shot to the boundary. It's been a huge struggle. And the bowlers from the Crescents have just been completely on top. Great dominating performance so far by the bowlers.
It's a wide signal. Batsman came across. Is Ahmadullah Khan, the coach of the Crescents, the mastermind of this battle plan. We were very well pleased with the execution of it by his men. Arjun Menon, coach of the Crimsons. He'll be coming up with a few new plans. All the coaches with the respective teams have done a wonderful job. Bilal Asad with the Stars, Arjun Menon with the Crimsons, and Ahmadullah Khan with the Crescents in preparing their men, managing their injuries, and managing a lot of overseas players, getting them to gel. There's been a wonderful display of cricket right throughout this entire month. At the end of 16 overs, Crimson 71 for the loss of 6. Looks like Kartik Subramaniam will continue from the Balestier Road end.
And you take one look at the scorecard, Chamal. You know, guys like Chetan, so many others in the middle order, they look like they were not ready for battle out there. They looked like they were being pushed out there in the middle. They weren't being combative, they weren't being competitive. And they just let the bowlers get right on top.
Kartik Subramaniam continuing. Manoj Yadav takes a big hoik at it, doesn't manage to get the ball off the square. Yes, you're right. I mean, they felt a little bit like when I was going bungee jumping. I had to be pushed off the edge.
But credit to you for going up to the edge.
I had no choice. again hammered down to long off. Manpreet Singh not too pleased with his fielder.
And Karthik giving the big glare, hands on hips to James Cox, who I thought did a pretty good job running in from sweeper cover to stop that from going through to the boundary.
And that shows the difference in intensity. The Crescents are switched on. They want 100% from each player in the grand final. Manpreet Singh giving Coxey the full teapot.
That is hit into the gap, but there is a fielder there. Surendran will do the tidying up, and it's only one for that big pull to mid-wicket. Poor Naveen Param has been toiling out there, 27 of 38 balls. You take away that contribution and those 14 extras, and you'll get a sense of what Crimsons has done out there.
Chance of a run out. Slightly better throw there. Would have been curtains for Naveen Param. There was no single. Amjad Mahmood quickly to the ball, releasing it quickly. Also keeping the batsman from scoring a single or stealing a single. Results in a mid-pitch conference. Naveen Param has batted sensibly.
Oh, nice pickup and throw, didn't get the direct hit in, but great effort.
It's very good effort there by Karthik Subramaniam. He's a fighter, but he had a little bit more time than he would have thought to really gather and throw the stumps down. Had it been a direct hit, it would have been curtains for Naveen Param. He was not even in the frame. But the Crescents outfit, you can see the uniforms from diving around. They look like they've been to war.
And I think the Crimsons, they have to try and get the score past 100 because it's a big psychological barrier. There's a huge difference between 97, 99 and 100 plus. Big swing by the batsman, completely missing it. It's end of over number 17 and the Crimson 75 for 6. So getting to 100 in many ways is some sort of psychological barrier. So it's important to get past the 3-figure mark.
Yes, yesterday on Tuesday, Crescents got to exactly 100, and the Stars managed to get to 99. They lost by a run. A little bit about diving and uniforms. There was a very capable opening batsman who used to play for Sri Lanka called Michael Van Dot. He was much better performer at the club level, but he used to always have an immaculate pair of whites, which he never used to dive or put in extra during his fielding efforts. One day he came home and there was a stain, and Mikey's mum asked him, "Sonny, did you hand your whites to someone else today?" That was the only day Michael Van Dot dived. James Cox continuing. It's a very good delivery. That's the smart thing Roger Mukasa did. He just did not throw it wildly. He assessed the situation. There was no chance of a run out. There's no backing up. So did not want to concede an overthrow. Very intelligent cricket. The Crescents, they look like a well-oiled unit. They're switched on today for the final.
Oops, it's down the leg side. If the batsman had got a bit of back to ball, that could have gone down to square leg. But the way things are going today for the Crimsons, not getting too much right. But they do get a wide in the bargain, an extra run.
Manpreet Singh throwing himself all over the place, certainly saving 3 runs for his team and almost throwing down the stumps. It's been an acrobatic effort. Captain lifting the spirits. Jeez. And on this occasion, James Cox repeats. Bowls one wide down the leg side. No stopping that. That's gone for 4. Plus a wide, 5. Crimsons will take all these donations.
I think Cox is trying a little bit too hard, trying to hit the block hole, I think, and trying to bowl at pace and losing control in the bargain.
Yeah, Coxie doesn't believe in half measures. He's given a full donation. A wide, 4 runs, plus a no ball free hit for height.
And getting the Crimsons closer to the 100 mark.
That's a good comeback. Manoj Kumar Yadav, he certainly looks to hit the cover of the ball. Tends to premeditate a little bit, isn't it? And he has the strength to clear these boundaries easily. He should look to loft him straight. James Cox is not easy to just dispatch anyhow. Be looking to finish strongly here. There you go once again. Inside edge to deep third man.
Batsman giving James Cox the charge. Cox shortening the length. Still managing to get a bit of bat to ball and getting a run. It's 83 for 6 of 17.3. Naveen Param's 28 of 41. Manoj Yadav's 12 of 6. Still beating the bat, James Cox at this late stage of the game.
Also had a chat to young Arutra Drutta before the game started. He was really pumped up for the final 2. Wants to make an impactful contribution today. So he's looking to open the innings. Wish him all the best. Wonderful young man both on and off the park. This is very good bowling. Aritra conceding an extra, but this could be a run out. He's gone. Oh dear. Manoj Kumar Yadav has run his partner out. There was no 2 in there for the misfield. Aritra making him pay for running on the misfield.
I think Param fought it out there in the middle, finally getting run out. And I think the guys from the Crescents are recognizing the effort by Param, recognizing that he's the one man that stood amidst the ruins and got a few runs on the board and getting them towards a semi-decent score. Sad he had to get out the way he did in the end. It's 84 for 7 now of 17.5.
Brings out Suresh Appusamy to the centre. Talented young batsman, more a quick bowler. He's a keen competitor. He'll be looking to do a job. The Crimsons would require him to do a job here.
Very tentative. Hopefully poking his bat out there, but makes no contact whatsoever. That's the end of a great over. 8 overs gone, 18 overs gone, 84 for 7, the Crimsons.
Yes, Appusamy didn't know much about that delivery. It was through him.
You know, Chamal, you like to see batsmen who come out wanting to fight it out. I'm reminded of Javed Miandad, and no matter what the position was, what the situation was, he was out there to fight with the opposition. And there is another kind of batsman who looks like he's been pushed out there in the middle, and you could almost sense from the body language that the pressure is getting to him. You saw a lot of that in the body language of the Crimson's batsmen today.
Yes, even amongst the experienced players, they didn't look like they were up for the fight. Charles Weisfer to bowl the penultimate over from the Serangoon road end, I beg your pardon, from the Balestier road end. He'll be bowling to Manoj Kumar Yadav.
And I think we could now see Manoj Yadav taking a few big swings because nothing much to lose at this stage. Even if they fly off the edges to third man or fine leg, they'll take it. But a big, let's say 12 to 15 run over now and 10 or 12 runs in the last over, they could edge past that 100 mark for whatever it is worth. Well bowled. Yorker outside the off stump, really well bowled.
Intelligent bowling at the depth here by Charles Weisfer, using all his experience. More importantly, executing it brilliantly. Here's Manoj Kumar Yadav. He's been swinging all night. He'll be trying to swing it harder.
Squeezes is out for a 1. Just a single there. It's 85 now for 7.
Yes, and once again, the 30 yards fielders are right back on the ring. The Crescents wouldn't mind these singles. Amjad doing the right thing, not throwing it unnecessarily. Experienced cricketer.
That should go all the way to the cover point boundary. Welcome boundary for the Crimsons as they inch up towards that 100 mark. It's 90 now for 7. A rare full toss by the bowler, giving the batsman room to free his arms. Good connection, and on this quick outfield, races away.
It's Manoj Yadav doing a good job for the Crimsons. 17 off 20. He really smoked that one. If he can connect a few more, make this bit more interesting. And once again, not the best of running by Suresh Appusamy. Should have looked to run that first one hard, and any chance of getting a 2 to put Manoj Kumar Yadav back on strike.
And put pressure on the fielder at long off. Identical ball to the one he hit for 4. This time gets it straight to the fielder. Oh, great hit. Out. Straight down long on's throat.
And I tell you what, Surendra's got hands like buckets. He is not going to miss those. Took that catch easily, like a little stroll in the park.
I thought he made good contact, and I thought on the short IA boundary it would clear the ropes, but 6'3" Surendran stuck his hands out, straight in.
Made it look easy. Suresh Appusamy would be disappointed with that. Didn't get the elevation, but you can't blame him. He has to go for the shots. The top order batsmen, they haven't done their job.
But it's been that kind of a day for the Crimsons. That ball was there to be hit. On another day, the ball would have landed inside the pavilion. But it's been a forgettable day for the batters.
Well, the DJ is certainly rocking it at the Indian Association Cricket Ground. It's a beautiful day under lights. The Crescents, they would feel that they are on top at the moment. The Crimsons would be looking to maximize in this last over. Bowled by Amjad Mahmood, experienced campaigner. He's not going to make it easy.
I can almost bet that Chingwara is going to have an almighty heave at anything that is thrown at him.
Yes, Tafara Chingwara. Now he's got a job to do with the willow.
There he goes. But in no shape whatsoever there.
But 10 out of 10 for being adventurous. Came down for the great African safari. And it was a wild swing too. Tafara Chingwara, wonderful character. He'll have a job to do with the ball later on.
Anything in his zone will disappear. Oh, what happened there?
Leg cutter, intelligently bowled. Amjad Mehboob taking all the pace off the ball. And really hitting it.
Right, this should be fun now. First two have been dot balls. Oops. Cramping the batsman for room. A direct hit would have meant curtains for the non-striker. But Chingwara manages to get through to the other end. 92 for 8. 3 balls left to finish the 20 overs.
Three balls to go, and it's a good thing to have Manoj Kumar Yadav back on strike. He's the more capable of the two with the willow in hand. See what he can do. It's a very good delivery by Amjad.
Amjad's wearing it nicely in this over. His length, his pace, keeping the batsman guessing.
Tafa back on strike. Drills it to deep long on for another single. Crescents wouldn't mind this at all. And they've also done the right thing by having the correct fielders in the correct positions. The tall Surendra Chandramohan there at long on. He's running end to end. It's been a wonderful performance thus far by the Crescents. Very professional. They've been ruthless. That's the end of the Crimson's innings. Manoj Kumar Yadav doing the right thing, sacrificing, looking for the second. But he was gone by almost the full length of the pitch. But Tafara had made it back for the second.
Yeah, but what a bowling performance by the Crescents. You got to hand it to them. Every single bowler played his part. Just hardly let the batsmen breathe, these guys.
This is a wonderful performance. You can see Manpreet Singh gathering his men. I'm sure bringing the huddle in, giving them their orders exactly what to do in the second innings. We'll join you shortly with the chase by the Crescents. Crimsons 95 for the loss of 9 wickets. Crescents require 96 runs to win the grand final.
guys want to win a holy thing.
थोड़ा राउंड घुमा के अन्ना के जैसा चश्मा लगा के कोकोनट में लस्सी मिला के आ जाओ सारे मूड बना के पूछो को थोड़ा राउंड घुमा के अन्ना के जैसा चश्मा लगा के कोकोनट में लस्सी मिला के आ जाओ सारे मूड बना के all the Rajini fans don't miss that chance all the Rajini fans don't miss that chance lungi dance 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 डिस्को में जब ये गाना बजेगा on the floor आना पड़ेगा लुंगी को उठाना पड़ेगा स्टेप करके दिखाना पड़ेगा डिस्को में जब ये गाना बजेगा on the floor आना पड़ेगा लुंगी को उठाना पड़ेगा स्टेप करके दिखाना पड़ेगा all the Rajini fans don't miss that chance all the Rajini fans don't miss that chance lungi dance lungi dance
Everybody now, one hand in the air, one hand in the air, and we go from left to right. Watch this. Left, right, left, right, right, left, right, right. Put your hands up, 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 put your hands up. 1, 2, 3, let's go. 다시는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반짝 있는 여자 Everybody 너는 사랑해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그 사랑해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때린 사랑해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 사랑해 그런 사랑해
वीडियो के लिए, बिकॉज हम लोग 1 घंटे पहले ही इसे कोरियोग्राफ किया था, सो थोड़ा सा तो मेहनत लगी. इनफैक्ट 15 टेक्स लगे ये वीडियो करने के लिए. एंड गुस्सा तभी आ रहा था जब ये लास्ट में जो ये ब्लैक टी शर्ट में, DFI टी शर्ट में जो ये संकेत बिडगर है, गौर से देखिए इस चेहरे को, ये खुद
when they are bowling between deliveries.
Or end of the over.
Yeah, slow it down a little so we can
Make some sense.
Good evening and welcome back to the live coverage. We're back with you for the Crescents chase. It's going to be an interesting one here, Moik.
Well, all they need to do is stick around for as long as possible, and the score should be easily reachable. No need to do anything silly. It's not a big asking rate. And what the Crimsons need is quick wickets. I mean, they'll be looking desperately to knock over 1 or 2 early on. That really is the only way to make something out of this game.
Yes, they also need to learn from the other day how the Stars went about it. They were tentative, they didn't show any sort of intent, and when the wickets were lost, there was not many runs on the board. So these two batsmen need to be cognizant of that and make sure that the tempo of this innings stays always on top. Tafara Chingwara from the Serangoon Road end will be bowling the first over.
And I dare say it's all about the first 5 overs. If these two can see through those initial 3 to 5 overs, I think they should be well and truly on their way.
Roger Mukasa and Aritra Dutta opening the batting. Roger Mukasa to take the first ball. Tafara Chingwara is fired up. That was a snorter of a delivery, jagging off the wicket.
What this tournament has done is bring to the fore some really good seam bowlers, and this guy you're seeing operating from the far end is one of them. Good skill, good pace, and let's see what happens. Crucial that it delivers on this big day.
Straight away he's on the money, giving nothing away. No room there for Roger Mukasa to free his arms. Hardly any room to breathe. Tafara Chingwara putting the choke on.
Early days yet. Is this going to be one of those low-scoring thrillers? Is this going to be a bowler's day?
We had one on Tuesday. Let's see how this one goes.
One man at gully is catching. That should be close.
Slightly better throw, and had Tafara gathered that cleanly, might have been a different outcome. Batsman scampering through for a single.
I think he was struggling a bit in the end, but luckily for him, the pick up and throw and the gathering wasn't clean enough.
Deep third man, deep fine leg, the boundary riders. Gully, the solitary catcher. Tafara Chingwara really bending his back. Once again, the opener scampering a single through. Anshu Singhania there behind the stumps.
Oh, I think Chingwara is giving it everything he has. He knows he's the guy that needs to pick up a couple of early wickets. really bending his back.
No ball signaled. Safa not happy with this at all. Free hit signaled. Could this be the release that Roger Mukasa was looking for? Also having the overseas captain not enabling him to go and really put some pressure on Sarika Prasad. We're back with the live action. Suresh Appusamy continuing from the Balestier Road end. Rohan Rangaraj there dropping a crucial chance. Let's see how it'll impact the final outcome. The Crimsons can ill afford such mistakes, only defending a mere 96. This is intelligent batting, exactly as the doctor has ordered. Risk-free cricket by these two. Picking up the singles on offer and putting away the loose deliveries. Crimsons have no one but themselves to blame. What a great leveler this game is. Rohan Ranga coming into this match, top scorer of the tournament, easily 100 runs ahead of the second highest. This is wonderful running. Good bit of backing up by Chetan Suryavanshi. And the Crescent's ability to pick him up early really threw the spanner amongst the works. They're really controlling the innings, not taking any unnecessary risks. Well, you've been involved with Singapore cricket's evolution through the phases, and now as cricket itself has evolved and T20 has become such an integral part, and with Singapore now playing the qualifiers for the T20 World Cup in July, how do you see this giving the exposure to the young under-19s as well? How is that going to help the future of Singapore cricket?
I mean, I'm a bit lost there to answer that question, but you know, our under-19s, who are we playing against? If you could let me know the countries.
The under-19 qualifiers are coming against Oman, Malaysia, Nepal, Kuwait, and Thailand.
Right. Yeah, that's a good chance because those countries are pretty much, I think, at par or below Singapore. So again, it goes down to the training, what the boys are going to do, and what our coaches are going to, you know, do with them. I understand that the fitness levels of our boys have gone up, and if we have the whole squad focused on it, there's a brilliant chance for us qualifying. Having said that, you know, I'm sure Malaysia also will be doing their part to get into the squad. Thailand and all, I think, are subpar, and I think we are way above them. But I think we got a good chance, but I think we got to spend a lot of time with the kids, and having this NS, I think hampers a bit of our, I think, planning. Do we have those players in hand, or are they still with NS?
Yes, the last batch of under-19s developed. Now they are going through the NS phase, and there's now a new squad being developed, almost 30 kids in the pool. Chetan Suryavanshi, bowling from the Serangoon Road end. That looks close. Well, the man that matters, Sarika Prasad, seems to have adjudicated out. Aritudita will be disappointed. Let's have a look at the replay. That looked like a bit high and going down the leg side as well. The Crimsons will take it.
Yep, they would. See the replay again. Yeah. Going leg side.
Chetan Suryavanshi has managed to break the partnership. He did that the other day against the Stars when they were very comfortably positioned for 176 without the loss of any wicket. Today he's managed to break this crucial partnership. Can he open the door? Well, the Crescents seem to have promoted Shahrukh Dar. Sturdily built, burly character. He can hit the ball a long way. I'm sure he's been given a license. So, Paulie, I know you're a very busy man and you've come down to the comm box and given us your time. Really, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you very much for having me, and all the best for the future of the tournament. I thank you for hosting me here and wish you all the best for the future tournament.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a wide. Good job by Anshul. Singhania getting a hand to that, saving 3 runs. The batsman managed to scamper through for a single.
Chetan's confidence is up. He's trying to crank it up. And he understands that it's crucial to get wickets. And if he can knock over 1 or 2 more, that really is the only chance for the Crimsons. Here is Chetan now. Well bowled. The batsman is able to take it away down to fine leg for 4. Lovely little leg glance. Nicely played.
Is Roger Mukasa playing a steady hand here for the Crescents. I'm sure he'll be looking to guide this chase. Very intelligent cricketer. He's been putting in some consistent performances. Chetan slightly drifting on the pads, paying the penalty.
And the Crescents have raced away now to 37 for 1 or 4.4. Down the leg side again. Easy call for Sarika Prasad. And he's declared that a wide.
Yes, Chetan will not be pleased. Experienced man. He knows that the Crimsons can ill afford extras at this juncture. Shahrukh Dar advancing. Chetan Suryavanshi banging it in. Wide signalled. It's an action-packed over.
And Chetan doesn't like that one bit, giving the batsman the glare, showing that he can still bowl 1 or 2 quick ones. That one really took off.
Yes. That would have taken a lot of the gas out of the tank. He's a competitor, Chetan Suryavanshi. My goodness gracious me.
Straight up in the air and all the way. Oh, he just flicked it for 6.
Shahrukh Dar using them strong wrists. Muscles it over long on for a 6. I was having a chat with him. He comes from a family of Olympians who have won 3 gold medals for Pakistan. His granddad, his granduncle and his uncle won all 3 gold medals that Pakistan has won in the Olympics. And he's an equestrian, loves riding horses. And that shows in the strong wrists and the strong legs.
When That was an effortless six. Just walked down the track and just tapped it clean out of the park.
And this is once again very good planning by the Crescents. They do not want to get this run rate and the chase big. They just want to finish it off quickly.
Yeah, that's one way of going about it. Sending a pinch hitter, as they used to call it many years ago, to make light of this target. And a few blows like that from Shahrukh Dar, and it's all going to be over very, very quickly. It's a fluent off drive, but straight to the fielder. He missed out there. There was only one man controlling that mid-off area, but that was hit nice and fluent.
Yes, that ball picked out Prashin Bam. It's in a bit of pain. Roger Mukasa really hitting it powerfully, belting it. Lacked placement. Guided away with the outside edge, deep third man. Wonder how the Crimsons are planning to break this partnership and get another wicket. Wouldn't mind throwing the ball to Rohan Ranga with his off breaks, but then he hasn't had the best of days. Cricket's something like that sometimes. When it's your day, it's your day. When it's not, it's not.
Nothing goes right. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what Shahrukh Dar does. He looks like it's no big deal for him. He's just waiting to belt it out of the park. There he goes, taking a big heave. That won't go all the way. There's a fielder to cut it off. He walks through for one.
Well, he's been given the license to go after the bowling attack. He's not going to hold back. Naturally aggressive cricketer, Shahrukh Dar.
It's pretty good thinking on the part of the Crescents. It's a small total thereafter. And they know that if a guy like Shahrukh Dar gets a few boundaries, they're well and truly on their way. That's a catch and goes down again. And not just that, streaks away to the boundary as well.
Suresh Appusamy creating the opportunity. Hanshu Singhania unable to cling on to that. Also the Crimsons not having a slip. They should be having a slip, looking for wickets. So they're not going to defend this.
Not easy for the keeper. Somehow managed to get a glove onto it. But still the ball was quick enough to carry all the way to the boundary. 52 for 1 of 5.4. The Crescents are having it their way right now.
Ball has gone off the chest. Roger Mukasa signaling to the umpire, rubbing the chest to indicate that that ball had nowhere gone near the bat. Yes, correct decision made there. I think it might be wise for Roger Mukasa to leave the hitting to Shahrukh Dar and make sure that he controls one end. At the end of 6 overs, Crescents 52 for the loss of 1.
And one look at that batting lineup. They've got the brilliant Manpreet Singh after this. And unless the Crimsons can get 3 or 4 very quick wickets, it's going to be uphill for them. Right now, this looks like we have a good battle on our hands here. Chetan doesn't like Shahrukh Dar charging him.
Yes, I'm sure there's going to be no Christmas cards exchanged end of year.
Oh, he screamed that down the ground. But there's a man at long on to cut it off, and he'll only get 1 for his efforts.
Kenneth Weisfer doing the fielding. Yes, before today's game, in the top 10 batsmen's list, Rohan Rangarajan, 267 runs in 6 matches. Manpreet Singh, second place, 168. And Roger Mukasa, 154. In the top 10 wicket takers, Ananta Krishna, taken 15 wickets before today in 5 games. James Cox, in 6 games, had managed 8. And Rohan Ranga in 6, 8 as well. And the top 4 spots in either category featuring Crescents and Crimsons players. So there's no surprise that those two are the teams playing in the finals. Rohan Ranga well above in terms of runs scored. Nearly 100 runs more than his nearest rival. Manpreet Singh yet to bat, but he's not going to surpass 267 today.
And to your previous point, Jamal, about the bowlers who got the maximum wickets are playing the finals. I think end of the day, no matter what the format is, bowlers win cricket matches, and the bowlers that have done well, those sides have actually come into the finals. And clearly the Crimson's bowling attack is just not as good as the Crescents, at least on today.
Another interesting thing to see is in the top 3 of the top 10 wicket takers are 2 spinners. James Cox being the only exception. Tafara Chingwara too at number 4. He was the best bowler in the 50-over leg. Well, some sanity seems to have returned to proceedings. Roger Mukasa defending that delivery.
6.3 overs gone. They're 58 for 1. The strike rate is healthy. Plenty of wickets in hand. And I think this game will be decided in the next 1 or 2 overs. If they get past 70, 75, it's going to be very hard to do anything from there. Chetan is trying to cramp the batsman for room. Thickish inside edge. On another day, the ball could have easily trickled onto the stumps. But everything seems to be going the Crescent's way today. With the bat, with the ball, on the field. Short, almighty swing. Can only get it down to long off for 1. Crescent's now 59 for 1 of 5.5.
Once again bludgeoned away. Don't find a gap.
Yeah, I think it's time the Crimsons try something drastically different. There's just no point doing what they've been doing all along, because they're neither able to block the runs, nor are they able to get wickets. Only way is to try something drastically different. Maybe bring in a spinner, bring in an attacking field. You're not going to stop this run chase by blocking the 1s and 2s and boundaries. You've got to pick up wickets now.
As we speak, they seem to have thrown the ball to Pramesh Singhavi, the young under-19 player, leg spinner. He's picked up 5 wickets, the 6 matches. Shahrukh Dar seemed to be getting rid of his helmet to allow for better visibility.
But these guys seem to be going through the motions, Jamal. Something tells me that they've already given up the body language. There is no... Oh, they've got a slip fielder at least in now to try and grab a wicket. But other than that guy there, and you can't blame them, it's a very small total, they can't afford to give away boundaries either. It's hard for the Crimsons now.
Yes, and this has been the difference between the Crimsons today and the Crescents on Tuesday when they were defending a low total. They were all over the Stars. Now this is going to be interesting. This might be a very good learning experience for Pramesh Singh Harvey. Shahrukh Dar throwing everything and the kitchen sink at that.
Yeah, we can see some action now. The bowler willing to toss it up, batsman going for it. Wow, that's a long, long way.
Shahrukh Dar depositing that delivery in the president's box. Dances down the wicket, sends it flat over the Indian Association. Powerfully built young man. I tell you, this is going to be the graduation class for Pramesh Singh Harvey. He's going to have to learn fast on his feet. Karabu Matlanka having a chat to his bowler. The umpire checking the delivery. Shahrukh Dar is just enjoying himself out there.
He's 14 of 7. Quicker through the air, and Shahrukh Dar has hit him down to point for 1. Giving him the charge, the bowler shortening the length. And all that Shahrukh can do is hit it for 1. But he made no secret of what he was aiming for. He was aiming for another one over the top.
There's been a command performance by the Crescents. They've been thoroughly professional, not allowing the Crimsons a look in at all. Single easily collected.
68 for 1 of 8.
.22 runs required from 72 deliveries. The Crescents would be highly disappointed if they don't win from here. Rohan Rangaraj entrusted the bowling duties. Roger Mukaza on strike, surveying the field.
One bounce and 4 straight over the bowler's head. 72 for 1. 8.1 overs gone.
It's been that type of day for Rohan Rangarajan. Cricket is a great leveler. Can be right on top of the world one day, down in the bottom the next day. Roger Mukaza batting sensibly, not allowing the spinner to settle, greeting him with a risk-free shot, straight back.
And he's so right, Jamal. Rohan Rangaraj topping the batting, up there in the bowling averages, number of wickets, took some brilliant catches in the field. Today, out for a duck, dropped a sitter, getting smashed all over the park. That's what cricket is all about.
And it's also a good learning experience for these youngsters. I was listening to a recording by Harsha Bogle. He was saying how the Australians recruit the special forces. They would actually go through a recruitment process, and if somebody hasn't failed, they would not pick him. It's a magnificent hit. Roger Mukaza down on one knee, smashing it over deep square leg for 6. The Crescents are now cantering to victory here. So if a player has only succeeded and he does not know what to do in the face of defeat, then that's an aspect they need to work out as well. And Vinod Kambli was the example he was citing. Was so talented, and there's only so far you can go with talent. And the moment Courtney Walsh bounced him, he didn't know what to do, and he played his last test at the age of 22.
Yeah. Great loss to Indian cricket, great talent. But yeah, sometimes talent is an overrated word. If you lack the work ethic, the discipline, dedication, which his best friend, I don't even need to name him, demonstrated over a two-decade career.
Rohan Ranga really getting dispatched to all parts of the ground today. 4 straight, 4 deep square leg and 4 wide of long on. The Crimsons are all but out. These 2 batsmen have really delivered the knockout blows.
And they made light of this target. They weren't even thinking too hard about how to approach it. Sent a pinch hitter up the order, who walked down the wicket, hit 6s, and now it's all but over. That's another boundary, and these guys have given up now, the Crimsons.
Roger Mukasa really striding towards his half century. Crimsons are all smiles, and the head coach Hamadullah Khan, he'll be very pleased. Keeping an eye on proceedings, Mr. Mahmood Ghaznavi, President of Singapore Cricket Association, he must be delighted with this tournament.
And the Crescents really delivering on the day that it mattered. Completely dominating proceedings today with bat and ball.
And it's only 10 o'clock in the evening.
And are we going to see Shah Rukh Dar finish the game with a flourish in this over?
I think he might allow Mukasa to get to his 50. I don't know whether there was a discussion about that. It looks like Roger Motlanka is coming into the attack. Well, this is a first. What a time to bowl. The skipper says, right, I'll have a go. Manpreet Singh, he'll be very happy. Skippering for the first time, really marshalling and handling his troops really well. A lot of experienced players in his camp. He was able to get the best out of all of them.
Fielders spread far and wide, but don't think Shah Rukh really cares. There he goes, that's mammoth. Massive blow. You guys would have heard that.
That just thudded onto the roof at the IA. It's not going to make a difference when the fielders are when this man connects. He has launched that ball into the night sky. All smiles, Shah Rukh Dar. It's a happy man.
Great to watch. He was just teeing off there. First ball, clean out of the park.
And I'm sure Roger Mukasa has told him, what are you doing, man? I just need one more for my 50.
Wow. Oh, that's
and
the
that's
biggest
it.
of them.
The Crescents, champions of the EPS Mariners 2019 T20 Championship. Magnificent way to bring it up. Shah Rukh Dar launches it out of the Indian Association ground. A comprehensive win for the Crescents by 9 wickets. We will join you shortly with the presentation ceremony. Great thanks to all our sponsors and all the viewers for coming down. And from myself and Mohan Subramaniam, good night from the Combox. We'll join you shortly with the award presentation. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, pick up your glasses, raise the beautiful toast for this wonderful life that God has given all of us.
जो तेरे संग लाई प्रीत मोहे रू बार बार तेरा नाम ले के रब से मांगी यही दुआ तू हाथों की लकीरें थाम ले के संग तेरे पानी सा बहता रहूं सुनती रहे मैं कहानियां सी कहता रहूं के संग तेरे बादलों सा उड़ता रहूं तेरे एक इशारे पे तेरी ओर मुड़ता रहूं Chemical, and all
To introduce the presentation party, we have the President of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Mahmood Ghaznavi, the Deputy of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Subir, then the Vice of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Siv, of Mariners Cricket Club, Mr. Abhijit Dutta, and we have the convener of Singapore Recreation Club, Mr. and the CEO of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Saad Khan Janjua. The first award for this evening goes to the man of the match. Not to give it, I would like to invite Mr. Paul Joseph. There were some splendid bowling performances, but in a low-scoring final for taking his team through, man of the match in the grand final is Roger Mukasa. 59 not out. Thank you, Mr. Paul Joseph. Now I would like Mr. Sivasanand to give away the best bowler. There's a magnificent from all the three, but for his 17 wickets in 7 games and a wonderful display of leg spin bowling, best bowler, EPS Mariners. Thank you, Mr. Sivasankaran. Now I would like to invite the Honorable Deputy President of Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Subir Gajak, to give away the Best Batsman's Award. Thank you, Mr. Zada. Now I would like to call Mr. Abhijit Dutta, the President of Mariners Cricket Club, the title sponsors, the player to an exceptional performance with bat, ball and also in the field. He didn't performance today at the grand final, but once again 261 runs with the bat, 8 wickets with the ball and some amazing catches. Player of the series 2019 Mariners EPS, Rohan Rawat. Mr. Abhijit Dutta, please stay. I would like to now invite the runners-up with the players followed by the captain at the end to collect the 2019 Mariners EPS runners-up, the Crescents. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Fantastic performance. Thank you, Mr. Alvin. Would like to call upon the President of the Singapore Cricket Association, Mr. Mahmood Ghaznavi, to give away the winners' medals, the prize, this trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, 2019. Captain. Yeah. Of the Crescents to have a word with us. Cabo, you must be.
Quality of cricket that's I hope in the future you can have more of us back and raise the standard of the competition.
You soon. Now.
Tournament. So
wonderful seeing you and your team win this tournament. I'm not going to keep you long from your trophy and celebrations, but now invite the President of fee. Ladies and gentlemen, champions 2003 EPS. Joining me for the celebrations. No, sir, they're not in presentation. It will look like one. Champions on three, guys. 1. Okay. The gentlemen, that concludes the award presentation ceremony. Thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday for the World 11 EPS game versus the Singapore EPS game. Good night from the Indian Associations.
my pleasure. Wonderful commentary. I enjoyed your commentary.